Is the Moon a station for guardians and the Earth a prison planet? Long ago, Isaac Asimov made the argument that the Moon is not a true astral body. Asimov's calculations have been supported by all subsequent independent research, and it has been established beyond a shadow of a doubt that the gravitational characteristics of the Moon go beyond the ordinary. The Moon should be drawn toward the Sun in accordance with the law of global gravitation, and these are the precise numbers needed to prevent this from happening. It can be assumed that the Moon is a constructed spacecraft and not a typical astral body when taking into account the hundreds of unusual phenomena that occur on the surface of the Moon that NASA never bothered to disclose to the general public but have nonetheless been observed for centuries by independent observers. Just a handful of these observations are as follows. Earth is younger than the Moon. The Moon is 5.3 billion years old, and the Earth is 4.6 billion years old according to carbon dating. The chemical makeup of the dust around the Moon, which is thought to have resulted from weathering and the fragmentation of the Moon's surface materials, differs from that of the Moon's own rocks. The Moon is a billion years younger than this dust itself. Moon rocks are magnetized, despite the Moon having no magnetic field. The Moon has never been hot enough to produce volcanoes, yet there is evidence that the Moon's craters were formed by internal processes. The metals on the surface weigh more than the metals inside the core. Typically, lighter metals are found closer to the core while heavier ones are found near the surface. 80% of the surface metals are made of titanium. The entire planet Earth does not have so much titanium. On the Moon, seismic activity occurs without accompanying meteor impacts or tectonic plate movement. In reality, eruptions with a reddish light that were both similar and recurring were seen, bringing the Moon closer to Earth. These examples, along with many more, seem to prove that the Moon was not put into Earth's orbit by accident or natural law, nor did it do so by the application of any astrophysical law. It has been suggested that the Moon was put there to protect Earth from meteors. Let's acknowledge this as true. Who is it? God? Strange space warp occurrence? Do not concentrate on the shield portion. Concentrate on the fact that it was placed there. In light of the fact that this explanation acknowledges that the Moon was placed there, the discussion may now center on why. The idea that our entire world was constructed as a type of prison has been supported by hypotheses put out in several timeframes based on specific fact. One explanation holds that it serves as a facility for the observation of our species. Another hypothesis is that Earth is a prison for the soul. Focusing on the facts that these ideas are founded on will allow us to ignore concerns about the sanity of those who cited them and the authorities' disqualifications for doing so for obvious reasons. Let's maintain an open mind about this, since it seems sense that most people would discard a hypothesis that supports something different from what they were taught in school without even looking at the supporting data. Earth is a planet that is intrinsically unstable. It is incapable of supporting human settlement or long-lasting civilization. What evidence does that claim have? The Minoan civilization, Atlantis, Pompeii, Damghan, Iran, Antioch, plagues in the Eastern and Western Roman Empire, among other natural occurrences that are said to destroy every civilization that develops too far ahead of its time. Is it reasonable for anybody to try to construct on a foundation that has the power to demolish everything created in a matter of seconds? Can there be any other explanation save the likelihood that they have no choice but to leave this place and move elsewhere with better conditions? Humanity is detrimental to itself. People can't stand other people. It's a simple reality. Wars, raids, assassinations, rapes, crimes, and whatever other means individuals may think of to harm others. This is precisely what occurs in a prison full of criminals, isn't it? Small-scale crimes are prosecuted, individuals and small organizations, while large-scale incidents, like the Crusades, World Wars, Revolutionary Wars, Civil Wars, Genghis Khan, and Attila the Hun are remembered in history as momentous occasions, and they are covered in history textbooks and in the classroom. Does anyone find this to be coherent? Higher power has always pushed humanity. Let's look at a few of history's outstanding personalities. Numerous historical figures have dominated their respective eras, including Alexander the Great, Charlemagne, Barbarossa, Peter the Great, Ivan the Terrible, Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, Winston Churchill, Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, Khmer Rouge, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, Julius Caesar, Francisco Pizarro, Franco, and a seemingly endless list of others. Between them, there were almost 1 billion deaths. The figure is accurate, indeed. 1 billion people have died in conflicts that were motivated by a higher power. 1 billion souls were sacrificed in the name of the higher force. Substitute your own term here. How can convicts be managed most effectively? Permit them to keep their own gang structure? Black Panthers versus the Aryan nation? Triads against the Mafia Latinos versus the rest of the world? Divide and rule. The first trick known to man. Inmate gang wars behind prison walls have claimed the lives of 756,000 prisoners worldwide. For what purpose? A race, a philosophy, a way of life, a religion, or a person? Anyone see any similarities? So, on the one side, there is an alien astral body that has been put in a certain location by unidentified forces, has all the necessary characteristics to remain there indefinitely, and has strange events occurring on its surface. However, you also have a population that behaves just like convicts in a prison. Is it incorrect to believe that the astral body was sent there to watch over the prisoners? Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? We always have more stories to tell, so make sure you are subscribed and have pressed the bell button.